to talk about the veteran meta build. I believe this build will be the most powerful in the most amount of situations with the least chances for things to go wrong. So it's going to be Dueling Sword Mark IV, Plasma Gun, Toughness, Stamina, Toughness with this talent tree. Okay, now let's get into all the little nitty gritty. So for the Dueling Sword, any perk combination of Carapace, Flak, Crit Chance, Unyielding will be good. I like Flak and Carapace, personally. For blessings, any combination of Uncanny Strike, Thrust, Riposte, Precognition will be good. Now, I would like to specifically call out Thrust and Uncanny and the lack of Riposte. Since we're taking Reciprocity, that kind of makes up for not having Riposte a little bit, and specifically Focus Target with Thrust and Uncanny has a really interesting breakpoint, where if I stack this up, we can use one stack of Focus Target to consistently, without a crit, kill a Crusher. This also gives you like a 7k hit on bosses, even without unyielding damage. So if you wanted to swap Flak for unyielding, because you kind of already one-shot like every Flak guy as is if you have enough stacks of Focus Target. So if you were to drop something, I would drop Flak for unyielding. For the Plasma Gun, any perk combination of Flak, unyielding, Carapace, you really do not need crit chance on this, will be good. I prefer Flak and unyielding and using this as a boss killer primarily. So for blessings, there's two ways you can run the blessings that are commonly used. Gets Hot is the best blessing, so it's used in every setup because it's just crit damage and a crap load of crit chance. Now you have to choose between Rising Heat and Optimized Cooling. Optimized Cooling lets you shoot faster and a lot more per 100 heat, but it makes each shot worse. And the Plasma Gun is overpowered because of its efficiency. So as you can see, it like nearly one-shots everything once you start getting some of the blessings going. Or just a few more focus target stacks, you can pretty consistently one-shot things. And I'd like to draw your attention to my ammo. So you get one shot back per kill. So every 3 kills, you know, every 3 survivalist procs, I should say, is a free kill. But look, you get 26 ammo per 10. Each shot only takes 3 bullets. So you are getting insane efficiency when you're actually playing the game and all your buffs are stacked up. You're constantly one-shotting everything, and every small ammo tin you pick up is letting you one-shot like 8 more guys. It's absurd. Now, let's talk about Curios. Also, fun fact, in case you didn't know, you can shoot through bulwark shields and you can shoot through walls with the plasma gun. Okay, now let's talk Curios. So, Curios are a little nuanced as well. You can go toughness, toughness, toughness. That's honestly really good for 4-player play because it's very rare you're in a clutch situation when you like need to fight your way out and you need to like block along a wall to get to a better position. But if you are going to clutch, I think max stamina is just always the play. But there's nothing wrong with going triple toughness here. The only thing that I think is mandatory is 3 combat ability regen, and I'll talk about why in a second. Toughness is also really, really good. Stamina regeneration is really good. Some people swear by revive speed. I personally think it's a pretty low value stat most of the time because you're not spending that long reviving people. But if you're one of those people that swears by it and thinks it's really good, I'm not going to complain if you revive people quicker, you know? So some people would say gunner resistance, but really for veteran, I would strongly recommend against gunner resistance. If you're going to take any resistance, take sniper resistance. So why do I strongly recommend against gunner resistance for a veteran? Well, that's honestly pretty simple. Iron Will and Shout. And real quick, this is why you always go triple combat ability regen. So first off, Shout is a 30-second cooldown. With triple combat ability regen, it's 26, but it immediately ticks to 25. And this is because of how the game rounds and does math. Don't worry about it. What you do need to know is Tactical Awareness is a 6-second. Tactical Awareness takes 6 seconds off a specialist kill, and the gold toughness from Duty and Honor is up for 15 seconds. Okay, so you would use this, kill 1 specialist, kill 2 specialists, you're under the 15-second threshold. With triple CDR, all you need is to kill 2 specialists, 1 with a psyker, and you can have permanent gold toughness for the entire team for the entirety of a fight. It doesn't matter how long the horde is, if there's a boss, whatever. So, on top of all that, Voice just gives you all your toughness back immediately and stuns everything around you, including bosses, by the way. So, this is why Gunner Res is just really bad. Iron Will, giving you that half toughness damage, plus voice of command replenishing your toughness, leads to a situation where if you're fighting like 12 gunners, let's say you kill 2 of them and they break your toughness. You just shout because it's so spammable and easy to use. You get all your toughness back, and you get your gold toughness, and that resets this damage resistance and gives you more toughness for that damage resistance to apply to. Also, just getting a few elite kills, because of the way this works, in case you don't know, this 50 gold toughness becomes your new toughness cap. So this now starts to regenerate your toughness up to that point. Something else I'd like to mention, you don't need to take these two. There is reload tech with the plasma gun where you can use like sprints or weapon swaps to interrupt the reload at certain points to reload it faster, and it kind of makes this perk not that good. But if you're going to play plasma gun vet, I'm assuming you aren't going to want to do that all the time. But if you do want to save these 2 skill points, you can pick up Field Improv and Desperado. Okay, now let's talk about things people might find a little questionable. Why Demo Team? I know the community used to say that Demo Team wasn't that great, but if you math it out, at least when it comes to Auric Maelstrom specifically, your average kills for your group are going to be about 300 to 400 specials and elites combined, and that averages out to about 30 or so grenades per run. Well, those runs last about 30 minutes, and this gives you 1 grenade every 60 seconds. So assuming you get every grenade from this is going to cap out at around 30 grenades. What do you know? That's around the average you're going to get back from this. So if this is strong enough to always include it, then honestly, so is this. Okay, now why Focus Target and not Weapon Specialist? Because Weapon Specialist honestly can go toe-to-toe with Focus Target. Well, it's really just down to the team. Weapon Specialist, even with this exact build, Weapon Specialist might perform better for you personally, but your whole team benefiting from this 27% damage is usually going to outpace it, at least when you have 4 players. Also, Weapon Specialist doesn't synergize with the Bolter and Plasma Gun, which are Vet's 2 best weapons, but I'll talk about that in a Weapon Specialist build. So, Focus Target is vastly underrated, if I'm being honest with you. As long as you're actually using it and throwing it on things, it's just a great generic damage increase. 27% is nothing to sneeze at. All you need to do is to keep this up, by the way, this last 10 seconds. And what do you know? It takes you 10 seconds to get your 5 stacks. So let's say you put 5 stacks on someone, kill them, your whole team gets 5 stacks of this damage increase. Well, even if you just put 2 stacks on someone and damage them once, the stacks get refreshed for everyone. So you really never have to worry about this not being up for your team. And this just ends up being 20% flat damage to anything. Crushers, bosses, the things that tend to trip teams up pretty badly. Honestly, even if you just throw 2 stacks on, that's still 10% damage. Combined with this, that is still 17% damage against everything for your entire team. Even if you're just throwing the stack on after like 3 seconds. That's really good, I'm not going to lie. Reciprocity is specifically taken for the Dueling Sword, for Horde clear purposes. Because if you want to go Uncanny Thrust to, destroy bosses and these guys, then you really start to suffer in the Horde clear department. But I will say that is what grenades are for. So 1 Shredder grenade from the Veteran can absolutely eviscerate a Horde, as you can see. So imagine if there's like 30 guys all stacked up here. You just toss one of these in there, and you take 70% off of like 80% of the Horde. And then you consider that every 60 seconds, you get another one back. Every, 20 or so elite kills, you're very likely to get another grenade back. And it just means that every single time you want to be at around 1 grenade, because you need to have, let me explain grenade optimization on Vet as well, because it's a pretty important part of this build. So let's say there's a Horde right here, and you have 3 grenades. No matter what, just throw a grenade. You always want to not be at the grenade cap so that you're using the cooldown of Demolition Stockpile. But let's say we kill, these guys, and Demo Team procs, which it just did, by the way. You literally can't script this. Well, you notice how it turned off my Demolition Stockpile regeneration. Well, let's say this is a big, giant Horde. You throw 1 grenade, fight the Horde, and then they reconvene because it's not going to kill them all, so you just throw another one. Now, when you or your teammates kill these guys, if Demo Team procs again, which there's no way, right? There's no way I can just get another one. Let's say, it procced again, sake of the argument. Well, You're back at 2, and you don't want to have it proc again to lose your demolition stockpile. You just throw another one. You should throw about 60 or so grenades with this setup, and these grenades are a huge part of your horde clear. Why keep their heads down? Honestly, if you prefer Born Leader, just take it. They're just as good. Keep your heads down is better with weapons that aren't the plasma gun. And honestly, I feel like it's a little bit of a mistake to take it. I think of the Games Lantern build that I link for this, I actually have Born Leader taken. This is just this, you know, I was putting this together quickly. But honestly, there is something worth to be said for this. And I would like to specifically call this out. Oh yeah, that's why I took it, because I wanted to call this out. The plasma gun is great for suppression, and suppression just in general is a holistically underused mechanic. So if we put gunner, 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 and then we turn our AI off, well, yeah, you can kill these guys really easily, but you see how with this increased suppression, we can, like, keep most of them stun locked even if we spread them out? Well, that, like, cowering they did is because of that increased suppression. But honestly, again, if you prefer Born Leader, I'm not going to fault you. It's very good. So, I think this covers just about everything about this build, and I firmly believe this to be the best build for 99% of people. Yeah, I think that covers just about everything. I hope you enjoy this. Oh, one other thing. I cleaned up my Discord quite a lot so that it's a bit more approachable for, you know, the average Guilo. So if you want people to push those new Havoc levels with, or just play with, you know, people that are a bit more optimized than you'd expect in random queue or the LFG place, then you're welcome to come in. We're literally playing games every single day. But yeah, thanks. I hope you like the build.